Hi everyone, my name is Dianna, aka Shorty, aka Kids, whatever you want to call me for those that know me. Today's October 20th, 2010, and today we are wearing purple in remembrance of all those young folks who committed suicide due to bullying, well, anti-gay bullying. I just wanted to share, a little bit of my story. I'm 25 now, and I went through bullying a few times, but the worst that ever happened to me was back when I was 20 or 21 it was. I was on my way to work to pick up my check or whatever with my girlfriend at the mall, and while we were back waiting on the bus at the mall stop, three young men were there, aging between the ages of 13 and 16. We were just minding our business, just talking, whatever, doing nothing wrong to him. I complimented one of them on his shorts, that's that. Next thing you know, the youngest one, who was he couldn't have been no older than 13, and I think I found out later he was 12 or 13. He decided to take it upon himself to start making anti-gay jokes, calling me dyke and all of this and that, saying if you want to be with if you want to be a guy so bad, why don't you be one, and all of that, just talking shit or random things. I ignored him for the most part. I did. We went to get on the bus, and as we went to step on the bus, little boy actually jumped in my face. Keep in mind, I'm only 5 feet tall, and this kid was about 5'3" maybe. I'm still an adult, but then again, he's bigger than me. But anyway, he steps in my face and just running his mouth. So I push him away from me. Before I even pushed him away, I told him to get away. He ignored me, so I pushed him. I grabbed him practically by his neck and pushed him off out of my face because no adults around there were going to even do anything. And as soon as I grabbed him to push him out of my face, all of a sudden I get punched right in my face by one of the older boys. He hit me square across the side of my face. As soon as he hit me, I stumbled to the ground. My girlfriend went after the other boy. He took off and ran inside of the mall. The little one was kicking me while I was down. The oldest one jumped on the bus. He just ran. He didn't want anything to do with it, I guess. And the entire time this is happening, all you see are a bunch of grown-ass men and women standing around watching it happen. Nobody said call the police. Nobody bothered to grab the boys. They just let them run off. The bus driver is trying to pull off with the other boy on the bus, not doing anything, and it upset me because here I am on the ground, bleeding from my eye and my mouth and my nose, throwing up on the ground, and you have all of these people not doing anything because they don't care. They just watch senseless violence for no reason. I mean, eventually the kids were caught, but nothing ever came of it because they were already wards of the state. So I had to, it took a while for me to just get over the fact that I got hit. I don't really know how I did it, with the love of a few family members and really close friends of mine, my girlfriend. Also, I did a lot of writing. I wrote down my feelings a lot. I read a lot of books, played video games. I did a lot of things to kind of cope with what happened to me. To this day, I still honestly don't think I'm completely over what happened because I never truly was able to, I guess, get closure on it because those kids got away with it. Especially knowing that the police threatened to arrest my friend who tried to beat up the boy. They threatened to arrest them for it, and they claimed it was self-defense. That's why the kid hit me. So, I guess I never really got closure on it, but I'm still learning to understand that people just going to be ignorant no matter what you do. You just got to kill them with kindness and love, you know what I'm saying? And I guess that's part of why I want to work with the LGBT community, as a social worker, because I don't want to see kids go through what I went through, end up hating the world, end up hating themselves, and killing themselves because of senseless nonsense like what those young men put me through. They put me through hell. I couldn't leave my house for weeks because of it, because I was ashamed and embarrassed by what happened, because I didn't have the support of the people that I thought I'd have the support of. because the questions that were asked to me was, why you put yourself in that position? So are you going to be straight now that you see what they're doing to you? And see, for someone to say that to you instead of, I'm so sorry for what happened, let me help you, that put things in perspective for me. So basically, I just, I did what I had to do. I worked my ass off to get from where I was at, to get to a better place in my life, and grew to accept who I am and love who I am, and not worry about what the next person think about me, because at the end of the day, you only got one God to answer to, one person to answer to, and that damn sure isn't the people who are standing in front of you every day. So for you young people who feel like life is just not worth living because of this bullying, man, don't let it get you down. It's gonna knock you down, but it's important how you get back up. That's what matters the most. Don't let these bullies sit here and keep you from living your life, because at the end of the day, they don't really understand why they bullying you. They just following what the next person they saw do. They're just following in the footsteps of their parents or grandparents or cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever they seeing being evil and nasty. And it's not for us to judge the next person. We might do it, but it's not for us to do. That's God's job. That's not our job. All I can really tell you is to stay up. You know what I'm saying? Stay positive. Just do what you got to do. You can make it. There's so many of us who are now adults who are working on big things in our lives, doing so much more and so much better than we were when we were bullied. You should take this experience and use it as a positive and as a stepping stone to get to the next level, because that's all you really can do. Don't go killing yourself and harming yourself off of it, because at the end of the day, it only hurts you and your family. It doesn't hurt anyone else more than it hurts yourself. So when you're thinking about putting that gun to your head, or that rope around your neck, or that blade to your wrist, think about who is really hurting. It ain't hurting nobody else to see you go. It's only hurting yourself. And I had to learn that as well, because I had a bout with attempting suicide myself, and I had to get up out of that. And that's something that I never really was able to talk to anybody about, being that I'm from the black community, and the black community don't talk about suicide. They don't talk about homosexuality. They don't talk about any of those things that are deemed as deviant. They don't talk about those things that are deemed as something for the white community. So it was hard for me to find anyone to talk to. But that's why I'm working so hard to try to get to my young African-American males and females and Latinas and other Hispanics and all of the Indians and Asians, all of the other minorities. That's why I'm working hard to get to help y'all young people, because I know in our communities, talk about sexuality is so far-fetched that it's ridiculous. So, that's just my thing. I just want to help everyone out that I can. And I'll come to y'all with another video as soon as I can, but thank you very much for letting me share. God bless.